I'm Caroline Gomez, co-director of the Auburn University Autism Center. The story that I want to share with you today is about a remarkable boy named Slater. When I began working with children with autism and their families over 20 years ago, few people had ever heard of autism. It's disconcerting that that is no longer the case today. In fact, every 20 minutes in the United States, another child is diagnosed with autism. Individuals with autism don't live by the rules of the world that they were born into. The absence of social programming and cultural conditioning means that their reality often betrays them. Sight, sounds, and even touch can be so overwhelming that they find a need to retreat into a safer place within. And because these children are plagued with significant communication difficulties, others often assume they lack the desire to communicate. These assumptions are not true. I completed the ADOS training, reaching the reliability status established for research and clinical purposes in the year 2000. The ADOS is a semi-structured, standardized evaluation of communication, social interaction, and play or imaginative use of materials for individuals who have been referred because of possible autism or other pervasive developmental disorders. The ADOS consists of standardized activities that allow the examiner to observe behaviors that have been identified as important to diagnosis for autism and other PDDs at different developmental and chronological ages. The ADOS is considered the gold standard in autism diagnostics. I evaluated Slater on November 14, 2003, when he was 21 months old at Auburn University. His mother was in attendance. The ADOS consists of 4 modules. The examiner selects the module most appropriate for the child or adult based on expressive language level and chronological age. Module 1 was selected for Slater based on his language level, that being few vocalizations, and the relevance of the tasks to his chronological age. The evaluation consisted of 10 activities with 29 accompanying ratings that were completed immediately after the session. Slater qualified for a diagnosis of pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified with an ADOS raw score of 10. A total raw score of 12 is needed for an autism diagnosis and of 7 for a diagnosis of PDD-NOS. 10 months later, Slater's mother asked me to reevaluate him. I had not seen Slater in those 10 months that had passed, but had heard that he was doing well. I told Slater's mother that I had never removed a diagnosis. She was, however, insistent she would not take no for an answer. As I began the second evaluation with Slater, my heart was heavy, knowing that I would have to face the disappointment in her eyes yet again. No one was more surprised than I at the outcome. In fact, Slater no longer qualified for a diagnosis of PDD-NOS. His ADOS raw score after the second evaluation was a 0. This was the first and to date only diagnosis that I had ever removed. I would like to show you some video clips from the ADOS evaluations when Slater was 21 and then 31 months of age. This is Slater's story of recovery. During Slater's ADOS evaluation at 21 months, he did not use expressive, socially directed language. A few vocalizations were noted when Slater displayed frustration with an activity. The following video clip was taken during a snack activity. Slater could clearly see and almost reach his choices. He becomes frustrated quickly as he has no understanding of how to communicate his desires. I attempt to gain eye contact by placing the desired item close to my face, but am unsuccessful. My comments about finding a mode of communication for Slater are directed to his mother, who is sitting close by.
We have chicken and juice, raspberries. Want raspberries? Hey, raspberries. We need to get him a way to communicate.
See if he had some photographs or something he could hand me to tell me what he wanted.
Raspberries.
Indeed, there is a lot of frustration. During Slater's ADOS evaluation at 31 months, 10 months later, Slater used expressive, socially directed language throughout the session in a variety of contexts. His spontaneous utterances were typically made up of 2 to 3 words and included verbalizing to be friendly or to show interest in a toy, as well as to ask for continuation of an activity. Slater's verbalizations had appropriately varying intonation and were accompanied by eye contact. In the next video clip, Slater is playing with a remote control car. He knows how to operate the remote, however, continues to include me in his play, asking me to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Point. Slater, your turn. You go. You want me to do it? Do it? Okay.
During the ADOS evaluation when Slater was 21 months, he displayed limited, flexible, socially modulated, and appropriate eye gaze during interactions with the examiner. Slater also displayed limited shared enjoyment during activities with the examiner. In the next video clip, taken when Slater was 21 months of age, Slater is playing with a remote control car during free play. I encourage him to include his mom in his play. After a great deal of encouraging from Mom, Slater still does not acknowledge her with eye contact or cessation of activity. After Mom moves closer in proximity and continues to encourage him, Slater finally moves towards his mother.
Show Mom. Slater, show Mom. Mom. What is it, Slater? Mommy? Slater, bring it to Mommy. Bring it to Mommy. Bring it to Mommy. Bring it to Mommy. Can I see? Bring it to Mommy. Thank you.
During the ADOS evaluation at 31 months, Slater displayed flexible, socially modulated, and appropriate gaze for a variety of purposes. In addition, Slater smiled a number of times in response to a smile from the examiner with no physical contact or prompt needed. He directed a range of appropriate facial expressions toward the examiner to communicate affect. Slater also spontaneously gave and showed toys to the examiner for no other observed purpose, like requesting, than to initiate joint attention. In the next video clip, Slater is initiating a turn-taking game with the examiner using bubbles. He clearly wants me to participate in the activity. I should point out that Slater has a sister named Caroline, and so I'm not sure how to refer to myself without confusing him.
And one more. Oh, thank you. Wow. I'm not gonna need a bath tonight. My turn? Right, it's Caroline's turn. Oh, that's right. I'm confused. My turn. Ah, bubbles. Do you want me to blow more bubbles?
No, boy.
Yay, get the bubbles.